welcome to this new episode of our program, The Beat. Well, as we promised you, we're gonna get to each single tiny mega beat happening on our beautiful land in Egypt. So please stay tuned with us as we will be back right after this.
I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak. And I seem to find the happiness I see when we're out together, dancing cheek to cheek.
Oh, heaven, I'm in heaven, and the cares that hung around me through the week when we're out together dancing cheek to cheek.
Oh, I love to climb.
10 years ago, a group of musicians played jazz together in small venues around town. They called themselves Riff, and the band was made up out of local and foreign musicians who enjoyed playing a type of music that they loved. At one of their gigs, they met Ahmed Harfouch, a singer and jazz aficionado, and invited him to join for a song. One song led to another, and in 2002 they collectively decided to take the band a little more seriously. They started to rehearse, made a song list, and changed their name to the Riff Band. The Riff Band excelled playing wonderful renditions of classic jazz songs in fresh arrangements, and in the last few years they have taken a few iconic Egyptian pop songs from the 40s and 50s and set them to jazzy tunes. Their very first performance took place in Eort Hall at the AUC. Concert, they also performed a few Frank Sinatra songs, and the audience loved it, and this made them realize that there was a market for this genre. Over the years, the members of the band have changed, and it has not always been easy to replace them. The current lineup of the band is Ahmed Harfouch, director and vocalist, Noha Fikri, vocalist, Mitko Dimitrov, trumpet, Michael Lewis, trombone, Samir Josh, bass guitar, Amr Khairi, drums, and Rami Atta, piano.
I can only give you love that lasts forever, and a promise to be near each time you call. And the only heart I own for you and you alone, that's all, that's all. I can only give you country walks in springtime, and a hand to begin to fall. And the only heart I own for you and you alone, that's all, that's all. There are those I am sure who have told you they will give you the world for a toy. All I have are these arms to hold you, and a lifetime can never destroy. If you're wondering what I'm asking in return, dear, you'll be glad to know that my demands are small. It's me that you adore, for now and evermore, that's all.
Well, I have the pleasure to interview with me tonight the very talented band, the Riff Band. How are you doing, guys?
Hello, how are you?
So basically, we had a blast tonight, so tell me.
You know the story. I know that the band in the past was
the riff or riff only. So tell me the story before you even joined.
It all started with an instrumental band that played at Cairo Jazz. It first opened in the late 90s, and then I joined them just checking out the scene, and they asked me to sing with them, and then from that point they asked me to continue being with them. And then later on we grew up to be the Riff Band and to the present state.
But who called it at the beginning before you came?
It was called Riff by I think, our trumpet player, who was actually one of the founding members. And Valeri, who was our very first ever guitarist, who did most of our arrangements actually. He made what Riff Band is about now. And then I rebranded it to the Riff Band.
So basically started, mashallah, like 13 years ago, right? And you chose to sing the classic renditions, I mean the jazz renditions, but with new arrangements, with fresh arrangements. Why did you choose that genre?
Well, fusion is something that's going on in the whole world right now and has been for a while. And mixing something that is from our culture with a genre as beautiful as jazz is a mix. So, there.
So you weren't afraid that it won't be really accepted by the Egyptian audience at the time?
Actually, no. I mean, once people hear a song that they know from their own culture, they just react and they really, really enjoy it. And they usually people who come to our concerts, they're used to our kind of music. And then when we suddenly give them something even extra, they're like, it's a treat. They really enjoy it.
What a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies, they cry, and I watch them grow. They are much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Tonight you chose to sing like a couple of songs for Abdul Halim and for Saad Abdul Wahab as well. So you started also use like choosing Egyptian classic 40s and 50s songs and rearrange them. I mean for the people. So how did the people accept that? For example, like tonight.
It's a hard question, but I think it's about the reaction. People are clapping, especially that we're not coming from. We're talking mostly to Egyptians, and we're playing Egyptian music, but with our own taste, which the style that we like, which is jazz music. So most of the arrangements are in a jazz style, but at the same time we're playing something that people understand.
So I'm asking that question because we come from, as you said, the different cultures. So people are used to listening to such songs with their very classic arrangements. So that's why I was asking.
I think they will compare always with the original version. But I think that's the role of the musician. If I think, from my opinion, that we do two things. We create new songs, we compose new songs, or we do rearrangement or re-harmonization for the original songs to make it in a different way. I think that's the two most things that musicians do in general.
Mr. Mint. Mr. Michael on the trombone. The colors they cry, and I watch them grow. They learn much more than I'll ever know. When I think to myself, it's a wonderful world. Yeah, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh yeah.
So Samir, I know that many times you're all members, but I mean you change the members of the band. So do you find it an obstacle that bands such as yours could change every now and then the members?
Actually, we don't change the members. They leave for one reason or another.
Yes.
But we can look at it like a good thing, because it gives a new flavor to the band every now and then.
Yeah.
So if the same members over a long period of time, whenever a new talent comes to the band, it adds to the sound, it changes the sound, new direction of arrangement. So actually it's fun.
So one of the things that we notice when you're on a stage that you're really in harmony. Tell me more about that.
I think it's just something natural, and we just chemically blend together for some reason. There's no explanation for it. And also because we're real friends and we see each other and hang out outside work. So I think that makes a difference.
Is that an advantage? Because some people think that it's the opposite. So that's why I'm a bit surprised.
I think we're able to differentiate between our sort of performance face and our friend part. So I think it's fine. We're able to handle
القلب وفي جرحي من حلاوتهم قلت يا ريتني قلبي كنت فين قلبي وقلبك كانوا بعيد عمر ما كان بينهم مواعيد قلبي وقلبك كانوا بعيد عمر ما كان بينهم مواعيد يوم ما كان يوم بعيد شفت انا حلمه من سنتين وكلام ساعتين فاكر ايه وقلبهم ايه قلبين وروحين فين كنت فين وانا فين جيت منين والايام دي كانت غايبه عني فين.
Basically, I know you two. I don't know about Rami, even and Samir, but I know that you had to quit your day jobs like a few years ago. So, what exactly happened? You woke up and said, "No, I'm a singer. I want to quit."
I've always wanted to be a musician, and I wanted to. I was thinking actually, because my day job was office work, writing reports, working in the United Nations and all that, and it wasn't really my thing, and I was always interested in music, and I said, do I really want to spend the rest of my life in front of a computer, or do I want to sing and travel the world? So that was the decision, but it took some time, of course, and courage.
Yeah, of course. What about you?
Well, more or less the same idea. I mean, it's always been a life dream for me to become a singer, and I joined the Riff Band in 2008, and I still had my day job, but it was being a musician is a really demanding thing. You really need to you need to study, and you need to listen to music, and you need to really become a lot more than just you take all sorts of lessons, different stuff, so at the point, it's just deciding, okay, now is the time to dedicate more time and really focus and be serious about it. For me, it was like that. I said, okay, I'll give it 3 years and see if it's gonna work, and it made perfect sense. I mean, there was nothing confusing about it, really. I mean, it's challenging, and every package, every choice that you make is a package of things, pros and cons and stuff. But I mean, it wasn't confusing, at least for me. Yeah.
Mr. Ronnie on the piano.
نظرة عين فايدة القلب وفي جرحين من حلاوتهم قلت يا ريتني قلبي كنت فين قلبي وقلبك كانوا بعيد عمر ما كان بينهم مواعيد قلبي وقلبك كانوا بعيد عمر ما كان بينهم مواعيد يوم ما قابلتك كان يوم عيد شوف ده انا حلمه من سنتين وكلام ساعتين بان في الاتنين قالوا لي ايه قلبي فين
Where do you find or where do you see the Riff Band in the future?
It's hard.
What do you wish for the band?
Okay, I wish for the band to not to be local only, to play internationally. I think we have the ability to compose also music for us.
Yes.
Lot
Last year when I was your concert and you were preparing for your new project, Shukran Jazilan, and tell me more about it, please.
about Shukran Jazilan itself.
Yes.
It's my first album that I recorded. The content of the album is my compositions, and I wanted to show that blend of our culture by the oud instrument, the lute, and my taste and what I love to play and what I've composed. So it was a formation of piano, bass, drums, and oud. What I can say, it was a bestseller, the last Virgin Mega Stores. And I'm trying to play it internationally. I'm doing my best here.
So Samer, how did the cooperation between the Riff Band and the 7th edition of Cairo Jazz Festival happen?
Well, actually, we were involved, myself and Ahmed, with organizing the first edition of the Cairo Jazz Festival in 2009. Amr Salah, the organizer, or the president of the festival, is our long-time friend, and actually I play with him also in Iftikasset.
Yes.
And he came with the idea of the festival, and we helped each other at the first edition, and then we got busy with other stuff, and Amr took the jazz.
Yeah.
Actually, I admire his will, because the following editions happened during a very difficult time. Like it was always happening in the springtime. So 2011 and 12, 13 during the events, it was really challenging even to get musicians, to convince them to come and yeah. So I wish him all the best all the time. Yeah.
تريني بنسى جفاك بشتاق لعذابي معاك والأدمعي فاكراك وارجع تاني في الوقاك الدنيا تجيني معاك ورضاها يبقى رضاك وساعتها يهون فهواك طول حرماني أهواك واتمنى لو أنساك وانسى روحي وياك وان ضاعت تبقى فداك لو تنساني وانساك وتريني بنسى جفاك بشتاق لعذابي معاك والأدمعي فاكراك وارجع تاني في لقاك الدنيا تجيني معاك ورضاها
tell me, how did you see tonight's audience interaction when you were performing?
It was great fun. I mean, we have lots of fans. They came and we couldn't see them some of the time because of the light.
Primarchish was saying the same, by the way.
But we could feel the vibes, and we have lovely fans who always come and see us. And it was a brilliant reception. Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you.
So, are you coming projects even? As a soloist or in the Roof Band?
Well, we're continuing in the direction of mixing our repertoire between the jazz standards or the songbook and working more on Arabic songs and giving it the flavor of within the envelope of jazz. And this is slightly what I also, with a different formation and a different sound actually, me and Romy, we released an album last May. It's called A Conversation. It's a duo jazz album, and we covered jazz standards and Arabic tunes. Yeah,
I just bought it, by the way.
Yeah, I hope you enjoy it. And I'm actually starting a totally different project. I'm releasing the first single next week. It's an Arabic song. Yeah, and the project is my own compositions and or some friends, a couple of tunes that are not mine, and it's sort of alternative rock with a twist of electronic music. It's completely different. Yeah. So these are my projects. Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, guys, thank you so much. I really had a blast tonight, both in listening to your beautiful tunes and voices. I'm playing a performance, of course, and with interviewing you. Thank you so much, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
There are those I'm sure who have they would give you the world for its toy. All I have are these arms to enfold you, and a lifetime to never destroy. If you're wondering what I'm asking in return, dear, you'll be glad to know that my demands are small. Say it's me that you adore. Yes, me that you adore. For now and evermore. That's all.
Well, that brings us to the end of this special episode of The Beat. I really hope that you've enjoyed it as much as we did, and until we see you again, feel the beat.